Jim. Although not a Conservative, would you worry for your safety with remarks like this allegedly being made?
Well, I think anyone who has a public platform such as this group has, who then indulge themselves in what can only be described as incitement to murder. I'm quite appalled that John Manley comes on and tries to excuse it as ill-advised and art. This is neither art or ill-advised. This was a deliberate attempt on Kneecap's part to up the ante. Remember what they said. The only good Tory is a dead Tory. Kill your local MP. And that to an impressionable audience, such as most of their followers are within the more youthful side of our society.
Can any of this be blamed, Jim, on, the innocence of youth, and perhaps this was before Kneecap's now popularity? If they were to come out and clarify their position on that and retract those remarks?
Well, I think they need to be investigated for those remarks. You cannot go around inciting murder and simply say, oh, sorry, shouldn't have said it. It's something which is impressionable with those who are a part of their audience. It is something which sadly has been implemented in times past, and you've heard the daughter of Sir David Amess. We also had another Labour MP murdered, and of course in our own history with Robert Bradford murdered and Erin Neve. So we're not talking about trifling academic incidental things. We're talking about acts of terrorism which have actually taken place. And to have someone like Kneecap advocating and saying, kill your local MP, is not just ill-advised, it's totally inexcusable. And they should meet the rigour of the law for such an outrageous thing to say.
Yeah. Of course, so at this stage, it's still being investigated. It's alleged remarks at this point. What do you think ultimately will happen?
Well, if the remarks are found to have been made, and I think there's little doubt about that, and they are incapable of any interpretation other than that of incitement to murder, and I think that's pretty obvious, then I would expect the police and the prosecutor authorities to hold this group to account. Of course, they always court controversy, even in their very name. They are seeking to court controversy. There are many young men across Northern Ireland who suffered kneecappings, they don the garb of balaclavas, and it was balaclavad men who kneecapped many young people. So of course they are trying to endorse, and even in the very title they are endorsing an avenue of violence.
Okay. I'm sure they would talk for themselves around what the name of the group means. Jim, just in one word, obviously the band themselves have come out on social media to say that they faced a coordinated smear campaign, that they faced severe threats. You condemn that as well?
Well, anyone who threatens anyone is to be condemned, but I think, that there's little comparison with something as overt and obvious and indefensible as kill your local MP. And I think their visas should be cancelled, and I trust they will be in America, and I trust they will be brought to book for these outrageous comments and taught a lesson that they cannot do what they've been doing under the guise of art.
Jim Allister, we'll leave it there for now this morning, but thank you very much for